Okay, let's talk about this next one. I want you to find this product. And we have 8x minus 3, 2x plus 9. Okay, so distribute. So 8x times 2x times 9. And then times 2x times 9. So you're going to put x to the second, 8 times 2 is 16. Then you're going to put x, you get 72. Then x, negative 6. Then negative 27. Now you got 16x to the second. Okay, that's an A, that's a B, that's a B, that's a C. Now add your b's, okay? Now you write x down. 72 and negative 6 is 66. Then minus your 27. Okay, so there you have it. Now we got to get from here, I have a way to get from here back to here today, to factor. Opposite of find the product is factoring. Now, some of you Algebra 1 people who took it in 8th grade might be having nightmares. That's because I'm going to teach it a little different way. Okay, I think it will work. Okay, factor the expression. Now I actually have 4 boxes for each problem. And these are my first 2. Okay, let's look at our first one. So you have an A, a B, and a C. You're not solving the equation. They're not equations. You don't solve it for x till down here. Factoring means you find what 2 parentheses would multiply out to that. Okay, first thing, A, B, C, C, G, C, F. 4, 7, and 3 is just 1, and 3 don't have the x. So we're not doing a GCF. Now down here, I'm going to make a pretty big box, okay? And the top is going to be for my table. And the bottom, okay, I'll figure out how to do the parentheses here in a bit. So we take 4 times 3, that's 12, positive. So you need to take negative, negative, or positive, positive. We'll start with double negative. We're adding to positive 7. But we can always switch it. That's no big deal. Divide by 1 is 12. That adds to negative 13. Divide by 2 is 6. No, you're close, but you can't be close in factoring. Divide by 3 is 4. Okay, that's negative 7. If you go negative 3 plus negative 4, that's negative 7. Well, we need positive. Well, that's an easy fix, okay? Now, your A is not 1, it's 4. This is what you do when the A is not 1, okay? Here's what you're going to put. You're going to put parentheses plus parentheses, then space parentheses plus space parentheses, and finally space parentheses, okay? Now here's how this is done, okay? You are going to split that 7x, okay? You're going to split the 7x into a 3x and a 4x, okay? So put x. Don't get in the habit of putting those. Rewrite the middle term, okay? So under it, you're going to write 4x squared, same as before, but the 7x I make into plus 3x plus 4x and then plus 3. You're breaking that up. Okay, then in the first parentheses, you're going to group them. You're going to put 4x squared plus 3x and then 4x plus 3. Now you're going to divide and factor out the GCF. So 4 and 3 would just be a 1, but they both have x, so I put x underneath it. 4 and 3 would be 1. You need to put something under there because you need something to come out into this space. You're not going to put x because the final number doesn't have x. So you're going to factor out 1x and 1. Okay. Now you divide. 4 divided by 1 is 4. But x squared divided by x is x. 3 divided by 1 is 3. The x's cancel. And over here, I need to get the same thing in this parentheses that I got here, and I will, because that's 4x plus 3. Now what's in each parentheses? 4x plus 3. You make a parentheses outside, put 4x plus 3. Then outside you got 1x plus 1, or x plus 1. And that's your factoring, 4x plus 3 times 1x plus 1. Okay. Alright, next one. Same idea. A, B, C. So you're going to say, what's a GCF? 2, 7, and 6 would be 1. Again, it's just 1. So then you make a big box. Start making the big box on ABC after you do a GCF check. Okay, A times C, it's positive 12. Okay, so it's a negative negative. They have to match, and we're adding to get negative 7. Well, didn't I just do a 12 where I was trying to get 7? Yeah, it's probably going to be 3 and 4. Okay, add them to make sure it's the right sign. Okay, I want negative 7 this time, so I don't change signs. Okay, now you're going to take this. Now, what's your A? Okay, A is 2. So you're going to make parentheses plus put a plus sign, and then line parentheses plus line parentheses, then line, a big line with a parentheses, a bigger line, okay? Because you will put those right there, okay? Now you need to rewrite the problem. The middle term has to be rewritten. So you're going to put 2x squared minus 3x minus 4x plus 6. So in the first thing, you put 2x squared minus 3x. And in the second, you put negative 4x plus 6. Okay, you have x. You need to put x down. 2 and 3 would just be in the first row. Now, you're not putting x here because you have 6 at the end. You have the constant in that parentheses. 4 and 6 would be 2. Okay, but if the leading term's negative, it's got to be negative 2. Because you see the very first number, if that's negative, then what I'm dividing by has to be negative. So I factor out 1x, what I'm dividing by, and then negative 2. So it's going to be 2 with x minus 3, and the x's cancel there. And this is going to be the same thing. It's going to be 2x negative 3, which is minus 3. So what did you get in each parentheses? You got 2x minus 3. Then you got 1x with negative 2. 1x minus 2. And that's your factoring, okay? So 2x minus 3 times 1x minus 2. I'm not teaching the guess and check. That's stupid, okay? You have teachers that teach that every year, and then they wonder why students aren't any good at factoring, okay? Well, you tried it the last 12 years, they didn't get it then. Heck, maybe 13's the lucky charm, the lucky one. Okay, 2x squared minus 14x minus 36. Okay. This time you're going to get burned if you don't do the GCF, because you see 2 and 14 and 36 are in the second row. You can't do an x, but so you need to make a little box here and factor out a 2 and divide everything by 2. So that's now 1x squared, an implied 1 with x squared, minus 7x minus 18, and now we have a new a, b, and c. I should have put a, b, and c from the get-go. I didn't, but now it changes. Okay, now we take the a times the c. 2's out. Don't even worry about 2 till you're done. Okay. 2's out of the expression. Kick his sorry butt out and forget about him till the end. 1 times negative 18 is negative 18. So it's a positive times a negative. Divide by, and you're adding, you got to know what you're adding to. Negative 7, not 14. That's out, okay? This is your new. Out with the old, in with the new. That's not negative 7. Divide 18 by 2, you get 9. Aha, negative 7. And it's negative just like it needs to be, so don't mess with the signs. Now you run into a break here because your A is a 1, dude, okay? So you don't need all those. You go straight to your 2 parentheses and you go x plus 2, x minus 9. I'm doing this because x is 1, or A is 1. So you can write that as x plus 2, x minus 9. Now, you did do a GCF of 2, so you need to put a 2 in front, okay? You can put it in parentheses or whatnot, but again, you just forget about it until the end. You shouldn't be doing the 2 anywhere with your chart, okay? A is not 2, it's out, okay? Okay, next one, we got 8x second plus 11x minus 10. Again, A, B, C, okay? GCF, you got to do a GCF check. You at least check it. I proved error. You're going to get burned if you don't, okay? GCF, well, that'd be 1, okay? so it's not worth doing. Make the big box. So 8 times negative 10 is negative 80. So it's a positive times a negative now. We're adding to try to get to positive 11. 80 divided by 1 is 80. That ain't it. 80 divided by 2 is 40. That's negative 38 when you add. 3 is a decimal. 80 divided by 4 is 20. That's negative 16. You're getting closer though. Well, 80 is obviously going to divide by 5. It ends in a 0. So 5, 16. Okay, we need positive 11 though. Okay, because if I add 5 to negative 16, I have the number, I just have the wrong sign. Well, that's easy. You just change them to opposites. See, now negative 5 plus 16 is 11. Unfortunately, your A is an 8, so you need to make your grouping. So parentheses plus parentheses, line parentheses plus line parentheses, line parentheses. Now you got to rewrite this, okay? So you're going to 8x squared, and you're going to rewrite your 11x as negative 5x plus 16x, and then minus 10. So that's what you're putting in there. You're going to go 8x squared minus 5x, and then 16x minus 10. Okay, divide. And whatever you're dividing by goes outside. So you put x, 8 and 5 would just be 1. So I factor out 1x. We don't put x here. 16 and 10 would be in the second row. Okay, so a 2 comes out, and hope these end up the same. They should. It'd be 8x minus 5. You cross out the x's. And what do you know? 8x minus 5. So I have common parentheses, okay? So I factor out 8x minus 5, whatever's in each parentheses, then slash those out, and then you 1x plus 2. Okay, and there you have it. You got 8x minus 5 times 1x plus 2, and we didn't do the GCF, so I don't put that here. That's the answer. Okay, last problem. 12x to the second plus 36x plus 27. Okay. A, B, C. You're going to get burned if you don't do your GCF. Because see, those are all in the third row. So we make a quick opening we factor out the GCF. 3. Not with x, because 27 doesn't have x to divide from. Now divide them all by 3, and we have 4x to the second plus 12x plus 9. Now the x's stay with their powers because you're not dividing by x. Now we got a new ABC here, folks. Okay. Okay, 4 times 9, 36. It's positive, so we're thinking same sign. We're adding to try to get to positive 12. So 1 and 36, that ain't close. Divide by 2, you get 18. Nope. Divide by 3, you get 12. Okay. Yeah, that's negative 15. Don't go for that. Don't take the bait. Divide by 4, you get 9. That's negative 13. Close don't count. 36 doesn't even divide by 5. How about by 6? Yeah, 6 and 6. Now, I think if you add negative 6 to negative 6, you get negative 12. Well, to make it positive 12, we just go plus, plus. Okay, what's your A? It ain't 12. That's out. Okay, it's 4. Okay, that means you still need to do your grouping. And the line parentheses plus the line parentheses and line parentheses, okay? Okay, now you're not rewriting this, so you're rewriting the last ABC. So 4x squared, then when you get to your B, that's when you rewrite it. Plus 6x plus 6x plus 9, okay? So I group 4x squared with 6x. Then I group 6x with 9. So 4 and 6, you divide by x. 4 and 6 would be with 2. You will not be dividing by x here. 6 and 9, that's in the third row. Okay, so I factor out 2x, put that in the space, and then put 3. Whatever you're dividing by goes in the space. Cross out the x's. Not here though. Okay, that's going to be 2x plus 3. And that's going to be 2x plus 3. Now the parentheses match, so I factor out the whole expression 2x plus 3. Cross those out, and you have 2x plus 3. Okay, so you end up with 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. Now, when you end up with identical factors, the appropriate way to write your answer is 2x plus 3 to the second. And we actually did a GCF, so you need to include the 3 outside. Okay. So again, where did I get the 3? Well, I factored that out. And that became 2x plus 3, 2x plus 3. But the 3 didn't vanish. It stays there. Okay, now we're going to solve some equations. Okay, first equation we're going to solve. Solve the equation. That means solve for x. Okay, so 3x to the second minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. So x to the second's in the house, so you got to find those. And now label it A, B, C. Make sure the one side's at 0, which it is. So do a GCF check. 3, 2, and 8 is just the first row. Okay, and you can't do an X, so GCF's out. Okay, so then I make my table. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. Be a positive times a negative, and we're adding to get to negative 2. 1 and 24, not even close. Divide by 2, you get 12, not even close. Divide by 3, you get 8. That's negative 5. Divide by 4, you get 6. That's got potential. Let's add 4 to negative 6. Negative 2, right number, right sign, leave it. Now, moment of truth. What's your A? Well, unfortunately, it's not a 1, so I have to factor by grouping. Now, you need to rewrite this so it has 4 terms. So go off to the side right next to it and rewrite it as 3x squared. That stays the same. It's the b you're rewriting. So plus 4x minus 6x. So see that negative 2, I'm just breaking it up, and then minus 8. So now I'm going to put 3x squared plus 4x and then negative 6x with minus 8. Okay, need to put x, obviously. 3 and 4 is 1. Now here, you're not going to put x. Now, you need to put negative down here though. When the opening number in the parentheses is negative, you got to divide by negative or it's not going to match. 6 and 8 is 2. Okay. So I factor out 1x and factor out negative 2. So it's going to be 3x plus 4, and I get the same thing here. So outside, I factor out the expression 3x plus 4. That's gone, okay? And then I have 1x or x plus negative 2. Okay, so you're going to write your factorization. The GCF we didn't do because it was 1. So 3x plus 4 times 1x minus 2. And then I've got my F1, F2. I just take it one step further. Set each factor equal to 0. And solve it. So minus 4, you get negative 4. Divide by 3. Leave that negative 4 over 3. Then plus 2, 1x equals 2. You can ditch the 1. Now if you plug those into the original equation, 3 times negative 4 over 3 to the second, minus 2 times negative 4abc 3, and then minus 8, you get 0. Now put 2 in, 3 times 2 to the second, minus 2 times 2, minus 8. 0. I'm not going to do that on every problem, but that's how you can check it. Okay, next one. 5x to the second plus x equals 4. Okay, so that's an A. There's 2 answers we're looking for. Put put an implied 1, that's your B, and then you got C. But you don't have it equal to 0. Well, you have to, before you start factoring, in ABCS, we have to rewrite the equation so it equals 0. So minus 4, you don't have a C over there, so you minus 4 with C. 5x squared plus 1x minus 4 equals 0. Goes x squared, x constant. Now you're ready to roll. Should you do a GCF? No, because it's just 1. Now in Algebra 1, I had you guys making a box for the GCF every time. If it's 1, we're not doing it. If it's not 1, we'll do it. By the way, also, it won't happen on this assignment, but look at your A, and if your A is negative, your GCF needs to be negative, okay? Okay, 5 times negative 4, it's negative 20. It's a positive times a negative. So divide 1 by 20, so you add that, you get negative 19. You're trying to add it to positive 1. That doesn't work. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Nope. 20 doesn't even divide by 3. It divides by 4. I get 5. Okay, right number, wrong sign. So plus 5 minus 4. Now we're good. Now can you make your 2 parentheses, or you have to do the grouping? Well, your A is a 5, so you better rewrite it in grouping form. Okay, so go from here, from where before you started the box. Okay, so 5x squared stays the same. Now this one's the one you rewrite. Minus 4x plus 5x. Then minus 4. And that's what you're grouping. Okay, so 5x squared will be grouped with minus 4x, and then 5x minus 4. Okay, the first number is positive, so we're not going to put negatives. And we go x, x, 5 and 4 would be 1. Don't put negatives, okay? You're not going to put x either. 5 and 4 would be 1. You got to divide by 1 because you need something to come outside. The 1 and the 1x. So that's going to be 5x minus 4 by x. Get rid of the x's. And that's going to be the same thing. So I roll it out. We have 5x minus 4. Then outside we got 1x plus 1. Okay. Now write out your factors. Equals 0 when you're solving. Okay. GCF we didn't do, so it's just 5f1, f2. 5x minus 4 equals 0, 1x plus 1 equals 0. So plus 4 divided by 5, so that'd be 4/5, 4/5. Then minus 1, pretty sure you can ditch the 1, so it'd be negative 1, okay? Okay, last two. We have 3x to the power of 2 equals 16x plus 12. Okay, you have A, B, C. Where's the 0? We need the 0, so I get rid of these two things. Okay, you got a B over there. No, you don't. Minus 16x is your B. Got a C over there. Nope. Minus 12. That's your C. And our new equation is 3x squared with A. B minus 16x. C minus 12 and equals 0. Now it's lined up perfectly. Right, GCF 3, 16, and 12 is 1. Okay. Now make your box, your table. Okay, 3 times negative 12 is negative 36. Okay, that's a positive times a negative, and we're adding to negative 16. 36 divided by 1 is 36. That doesn't get it done. 36 divided by 2 is 18. That's got some potential, so let's add. I kind of gave it away when I circled it. Right number, right sign, you're good. Now what's your A? Your A, unfortunately, is a 3. Okay. Okay, so you're going to make the grouping. make that a longer line because you'll need a parentheses there. If you want to just put the parentheses there, you can. Okay, now we need to go to the last part of the last ABC I left off at and rewrite the equation. So the A stays the same. It's the B you're rewriting. So you're going to rewrite that as plus 2x minus 18x minus 12 equals 0. So you're going to put 3x squared with 2x, and then negative 18x, don't forget the negative, minus 12. Okay, you're going to put x here. 3 and 2 would be 1, and that would be positive 1 because your 3 is positive in the front. You will not put x here. Look up 18 and 12 on the chart. Yes, they're in the second row. Yes, they're in the third row, but they're in the sixth row, furthest down. Okay? You will not put x, but you will put a negative because the very first, see, right here the opening number is positive. Right here it's negative, so I need to make my divisors negatives. So 1x is out, negative 6 is out. So that's going to be 3x plus 2. Cancel the x's there since they're both first power. Then you're going to get the same thing. That's positive 3x, and that's negative 12 divided by negative 6, which is positive 2. So we factor out 3x plus 2. And then in the second we put 1x minus 6. Okay, now write out your factoring. Okay, did I do a GCF? No, I didn't. It was just 1. Okay, so I don't have to put anything in front, so that's your F1 and your F2. So on minus 2, I get negative 2. Divide by 3, it's going to be negative 2/3. Then I plus 6, that's 6. 1x equals 6. And you really don't have to divide by 1, it's just 6. Okay. Alright, last problem. 3x squared plus 24x plus 45 equals 0. Okay, GCF. Don't overlook that. Those are all in row number 3, so we need to actually do it. Okay. Just a 3. And also your A is positive. The leading term's positive. If your A is positive, GCF's positive. If A is negative, we need to make our GCF negative. So divide these all by 3. The x's don't change. It'll be 1x to the second plus 8x plus 15. And we now have a new ABC. And then good things are going to happen here. So I do 1 to, remember 3's out, okay? Don't do anything with 3. So 15 positive, so it's a negative, negative, and we're adding to try to get to positive 8. So divide by 1's 15, that's a no-go. Divide by 2 is a decimal. You divide by 3, you get 5. Adding those gives you negative 8. We need positive 8, okay? So positive, positive. Now go look at your A. I think it's a 1. That's good news. I don't need to do all this grouping, rewriting crap. If A is 1, we're ready for the 2 parentheses because 1x squared is just x times x. You have the implied 1 and then plus 3 plus 5. So I write out what the factoring ended up as with the equals 0. Now I do want to see that 3 outside of here. Now 3 doesn't have an X, so it doesn't get an F label. So F1 and F2 are here. So subtract 3, you get negative 3 and negative 5. Okay, you have 5 problems to do. First 4 you're just factoring, okay? There will be no GCFs in any of these, okay? They'll just be 1s, all of them. And the last one, you got to find the solutions.